Hey neighbors, and welcome to the calendar challenge for this month of May. The challenge is to use calendars. Tiffany from Simply Blessed Crafts and Jessica from The Busy Housewife are our hosts. I also gave myself a couple more themes. Yes, use a calendar, but also round, like a piece of decor that hangs on a wall and is round, and each piece of decor had to be embellished with a different color of flower. So one is lavender, one was pink, and one was yellow. So calendar, yes. Hanging round, yes. And different color flower embellishment, yes. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. Project number 1, Yellow Sunshine, and each project is going to have a color and a word to correspond with the flowers, color of flowers that I use. Okay, so Yellow Sunshine. I didn't have to go far to find a like yellowy good day kind of thing. It was right on the front of that calendar there. That's a 2025 calendar, I believe. And so I went ahead and just put down one coat of white acrylic paint. And when that was dry, I put down a coat of Mod Podge. This is just matte Mod Podge. I have a couple different kinds of Mod Podge, but this just happened to be the one I picked up. And I want to get a fairly even coat of Mod Podge, so I set it aside to dry. I want it to be good and dry before I touch it again. These are the words that I cut out on my Cricut. I was thinking Good Day Sunshine to go on the side of a round. I saw it on Amazon, but I just couldn't find anything I liked in Cricut. So I just went ahead and did the words myself, and I'm just going to put them on the bottom. So I got rid of the empty spaces, and then I'm going to put it on my transfer tape. And I just want to push down the transfer tape where the words are. And then I flip it over before I remove the backing paper. I find that's the easiest way to do it. And then there's my words. And they're ready to go, but first I want to see how big my rainbow is going to be. I don't want to put the words on just yet. And I couldn't find a pencil, so I just used the end of a paintbrush there to make a mark around the rainbow. And look what I did. Oh my gosh. Like, there's too much stuff on my desk. And I'm like, I am not recutting this vinyl again. So I did my best and very, very, very slowly pulled the paper off. And then I was actually able to pull it off where the paper was on the vinyl. And I don't think you can notice it at all. So, whew, on that. Now I can see I have enough room, so I'm going to go ahead and use the parchment paper and my Hippo heat press and get that rainbow down. Some people like to call it reactivates the Mod Podge. I just know the paper becomes one with the wood. And then I got the letters down on the bottom, and it came out pretty good, but the rainbow is a little bit off-centered, and I really didn't notice that until I had it on there. So I don't know, like, it's just a little wonky to me, but I do like it. You notice how one side isn't the same as the other side there, and you know, it's pretty. I can see this on like a kid's bedroom door. I'm going back with some French linen chalk paint to distress it. I actually like this for distressing. It's not as harsh as like the burnt umber or the elephant gray. And now I'm going to play with my flowers. What I do on one side, I do on the other side. That's basically the way I look at it. For this one, since the wood round is so small, I went ahead and tied both sides together with some twine there. And I'm going to glue it right at the very top. I think I put some all-purpose glue down there as well. I had 2 loops to make a bow, but one loop was too small, as you can see there, so I undid it and made another loop. It's nothing fancy, no tails, just a cute little bow on top, and the space between the flowers is just right. I'm just going to poof the bow out, and I'll give you a good look at this during the final reveal. Project number 2, Lavender Love. This is a mirror that I purchased from... I actually purchased a box of mirrors, like 50 mirrors. I had a project in mind and just started doing other things. So this is a good way to clear out your stash. You don't have to have a pizza pan or a wood round. We're going to use this mirror. We put it apart. So you've got the backing, the frame, and the mirror. And then picked up the mirror part with the calendar image that I like. And instead of like undoing it and drawing the circle or cutting it or whatever, we're just going to sand the edges with the mirror still inside there. And this actually was just an afterthought as I was doing it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of a cool way to do it. And it worked. And there was a couple little bits that didn't come off all the way. But I'm going to put string around it because when I have a frame, when I have a project that has a frame, I always put rope inside as a border between the frame and the paper. So this is just a glue stick. You just want to make sure you get all the way to the edges. And this is like faux decoupage. You don't have to break out the Mod Podge all the time. The glue stick works really well like on glass or vases. And while it's still tacky, you can move your paper around. I think I moved this one like twice. It was just a little too much off one end than I liked. I put it back down, used my parchment paper to sort of smooth it down, and set it off to the side to let that glue stick glue is going to dry, and that page is going to be on there nice and tight and firm. So I'm looking for a kind of green that's close to the green on the lavender to the left there, you see. And the green that I wanted was all dried up, and then the gray that I added to the green made it too light. So then I added some black, and I finally got the color I like. And I'm just going to paint the whole black frame this green color. Didn't want it white and didn't want to keep it black. And I thought, you know what? It's okay to get a border color every once in a while. We don't have to be white and black all the time. And I really like how this color came out on top of the black. I only did one coat, but I did cover it with Mod Podge later. I'm doing circling on the cardboard there just so I make sure to press the mirror down in the right spot. And I'm using that all-purpose glue with my hot glue, and I'm lining it up with the marks that I just made. I don't really have time to play with it because of the hot glue. Now I have that nice French linen chalk paint that I got to make my table couple of videos ago, and I really like it for just doing like a distress that doesn't, like, knock you out. It's just barely noticeable, and I really like it. And I think it looks really good on this particular image. Then I'm just going to push that backing back into the frame now. I mean, I'm speechless. It looks so good. There's the Mod Podge for the frame. And then all these projects in this video are getting like a swag kind of thing on the top with the bow. This one, I want it to cascade more because of the way the leaves are sort of coming off on the edges there. And I guess I didn't get me gluing down that rope, but there is a rope there. I guess I got rid of it during the editing process. But it's just hot glue all the way around. And now I just take my little bunches of flowers. I do each one the same on either side. And I had to make sure, like, at one point the purple was on top instead of the bottom. Like, just weird little things you might do wrong. I chose this ribbon, the burlap color. I don't know if it's burlap ribbon, but it's burlap color, and I like it with the lavender. I didn't have any lavender or purple ribbon, so I thought this one would work just fine. At first I had the tails dovetailed, but I go back in after and cut them on an angle because I didn't like how they looked on the image. But I do love how they cascade down the frame. Love, love, love how this turned out. Better look in the final reveal. Project number 3, Pink Flower Market. So this is a fall sign from Dollar Tree. We might call it a wood sign. I don't think it's wood, but I think we call it MDF. It's like wood, though. So first thing I'm going to do is get some Mod Podge on there. And that was a mistake because you just watch project number 2. And what did I do? I painted it first and then did the Mod Podge. And that's what I should have done here. So I go to all this trouble. I paint it, or I Mod Podge it. I let the Mod Podge dry. I cut the image out. I get all fancy about it. And, I'm just peacefully oblivious to my mistake. I kind of like to I kind of like to cut to the shape, but not like right to the shape, I kind of like how it looks with just a little bit of a border like that. And it came out really I'm like, oh, that looks really good. And then I decided just to keep the fresh flowers part. I kind of wanted the bouquets there, but, I just played around with the letters and the words, and I just couldn't. Well, there we go. Look at that. That does not look good at all. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I would have to paint over the Mod Podge, then Mod Podge it again, wait for everything to dry, wait for the paint to dry, wait for the Mod Podge to dry. So I took a chance and just went ahead and reactivated the Mod Podge, and I'm like, I'm just going to paint up to the paper. I mean, how hard can it be? And I thought, oh, this is like one of the DIY paints from Sammy at Unicorn Dust Designs. And you need to finish it when you're all done with it. So I thought, well, I could like scrape it off the edges of the paper or wipe it off because it's not, it's not finished. And I actually did that, and it actually came out okay. And then I started moving my paintbrush, making waves, and then it started looking like a snowstorm to me. So then I'm like, I need some texture. And then I grabbed these little flowers that I got from Temu quite a long time ago and started trimming off the backs and gluing them on. There's what it looks like. Did some little, snipped some pieces off of larger flowers for the purple and the pink there. And then I'm like, still not enough texture, still too white. Okay, I have this moss, so let's get some moss there. So happily gluing down the moss, and what happens? My glue gun loses its charge. It conks out. It is dead. And it's like night before this video is due. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It needs a good long charge. So I did the moss and I did the bow, and then I had to go to bed. So I woke up in the morning, got my coffee into me, and then I picked up where I left off, which is making the little tails for the bow. And my gun is fully charged. So we're going to get those tails down, and we're going to do them like side to side. I thought that would look really cool, and we'd still be able to see the words there. The flowers end up kind of covering it up, so I don't know, like maybe I didn't need like huge, big old bunches that I did. Maybe one or two pieces of flowers. But that was kind of like what I was going for all these projects, was bunches of flowers on top. That was sort of like the theme that I gave myself. Hanging rounds and different color flowers for each hanging round. That was the theme I gave myself. Whereas Jessica and Tiffany give us the theme of calendars. But I just feel like I have to give myself a theme all the time. So here's how it came out, and better look at the final reveal.